जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा, जय प्रभुपादा, जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जहाँ विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जाय। जहाँ विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। नामाचार्य श्री लरदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नदी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकास स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Where there is snake, oh. What's happening behind me? Nothing is happening. What is happening? There some sound is coming. What happened? Was that a snake? No, just a tape. Just a tape. Some remnants of tape. Actually, what had happened is there is a big glass over here. So we closed that with the cardboard. So they didn't put the tape properly. So the tape is moving here and there. That seems to be like safe. What is that? Shankaracharya's famous story. Famous, famous thing. Snake rope nyaya. Snake rope nyaya. Snake rope nyaya. Considering snake to be as rope and rope to be a snake. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namaste Jaste Jase Avir Bhava. वज्रनक वज्रदंष्ट कर्माशयं रन्धय रन्धय तमोग्रस ग्रस ओम स्वाहा अभयम अभयमात्मनि भूयिष्ठ ओम श्रौं यदि दास्यसि मे कामान् वरांस्तं वरदर्शभ कामानां हृदय संब्रोहं भवतस्तु वृणेवरम् एवं जनं निपतितं प्रपवाहि कूपे कामाभिकाममनुयप्रपदं प्रसङ्गात् कृत्वा सात् सुरर्षिणा भगवन् गृहीतः सोहम कथम नु विसृजे तव भृत्य सेवा. So we're reading from, so welcome to devotees, to all devotees for the yet another session on an online reading of Brahmacharya and Krishna Consciousness book. So we are in page number 203, quotes from Srila Prabhupada's letters. So continuing to read. So there's so many devotees have come today. So kind enough to come here. So many Prabhujis are there today. Matajis are going to come. Some Matajis are also there. So today I would request some two devotees. One devotee can read maybe two pages, three pages. So like that, all devotees can get a chance to read. Okay, I'll start with after so many days we got association of Asita Prabhu. Asita Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. After his busy preaching schedule, he has come to give us association.
Your mercy, Prabhu. I was busy.
Yeah. Okay, this is camera access.
Okay, sure. विफने से विनु कृपाणा दूर जाना चवल सुख लगवा लागी रे.
Thank you for quoting the shloka.
So now got some, by the mercy of Vaishnavas, got some uh, chance to serve Guru and Gauranga.
What happened these many days? You are busy in your office work or what?
This work, yeah.
Okay. There is no lockdown in Chandigarh? Partial
Yeah,
lockdown.
yeah. It is lockdown. I'm in Rajpura currently.
Oh,
In
Rajpura.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Rajpura, there is no lockdown. There is lockdown.
Yeah, there is lockdown.
मतलब full lockdown or only night curfew?
No, no, full lockdown.
Full lockdown. Okay,
Like,
Prabhuji,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can start reading from this page.
Okay. A brahmachari has nothing to do except serve his spiritual master. That is the injunction of the Bhagavad. A brahmachari is supposed to work as a menial servant of the spiritual master, and whatever collection he gets, it becomes the spiritual master's property, not the brahmachari's. That is real brahmachari life. If a brahmachari earns money for his sense gratification, that is not brahmachari life. Better one should become a householder and live peacefully. Regarding the question of about marriage, the thing is that as I am a sannyasi, I am not concerned with family life, but because I want to see all my disciples happy in Krishna consciousness, therefore those who are feeling some sexual disturbance are requested by me to get themselves married. Another principle is that those who are brahmacharis, they should sacrifice all of their income and collection for the Krishna consciousness movement, whereas those who are married should work, earning money as much as possible, and at least 50% should be spent for the Krishna consciousness movement. So we have no objection for allowing you to get married, but it is up to you to consider if you will work hard and earn money both for Krishna and your family. You cannot get married and at the same time not earn money. Of course, by preaching Sankirtan movement, if you are satisfied with a small income, that is also nice. We shall always pray to Krishna that we are weak and Maya is very strong. So seek for his protection in every step, so Maya may not inflict upon us her trident injuries. Perhaps you have seen this picture of Durga carrying the trident in her hand, which is a symbol of the threefold miseries of material existence. Maya's most attractive feature is women and money. We Krishna conscious men have to deal with women and money in the course of preaching work, and the only prophylactic measure to save us is not to accept them for our sense gratification. Then we shall remain strong enough. Materialistic people take everything for sense gratification, and Krishna conscious people take everything for Krishna's satisfaction. There is no fault in the thing as it is, namely women and money, but it becomes faulty by improper use. The improper use is to accept them for sense gratification. But as it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, we can remain very strong from this by taking a firm shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna, by chanting his holy name incessantly, and praying always for being engaged in his service. In this way, he will protect us from our weakness. Krishna consciousness is not limited within any circle, brahmachari, grihastha, or sannyasi. Everyone is eligible for cultivating Krishna consciousness. These are the stages for gradual development of control of the strong senses in the material environment. But any order of life suitable for a particular person in which he can most favorably execute his Krishna consciousness is the best position to take up. Generally, if one can remain a brahmachari, it is very convenient, and from brahmachari one can take sannyas. But in this age of Kali, Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends that it is better to cultivate Krishna consciousness as a householder. Krishna is very merciful to his sincere devotees, but also we have to remember that Maya is very strong. Therefore, we always have to be engaged in serving Krishna. At every moment, we should be doing this or that service for Krishna's transcendental pleasure. If we do not remember this, then Maya is right there to grab us. It all depends on our leaning toward Krishna or toward Maya. If you lean toward Krishna, you will be in Krishna consciousness. And if you lean toward Maya, then you will be captivated by material nature. Krishna and Maya are just like light and shadow, which are directly next to one another. If you move a little this way, you are in a light and there is no question of shadow. But if you move a little the other way, you are in darkness. So if we remember to always be engaged in Krishna's service, then there will be no Maya and everything will be alright. Please always remember this great secret of advancement in Krishna consciousness. It is my open opinion that if anyone can remain brahmachari all the time without being disturbed by sex urge, or who can tolerate such urges, there is not any need for him to marry and take some extra responsibilities. But one who is disturbed in mind, he must get himself married. Therefore, it has to be decided by oneself if he should marry or not marry. It is a fact, however, that if one is thoroughly engaged in Krishna's service, this sex urge does not have much disturbance. But you have got to work outside with kamis and different types of people. Under the circumstances, if you have a good wife to help you, that will be very nice. Another difficulty is that in the modern civilization, everyone is independent spirited. The girls are no longer very much humble and submissive to their husbands. So you must be prepared to tolerate such whims of your future wife. According to our Vedic civilization, disagreements between husband and wife are not taken very seriously. But the modern age allows divorce even either by the husband or the wife. These things are not good. But after marrying, certainly there will be some disagreements or misunderstandings between husband and wife. So consider all these points and you can decide yourself. But if you marry, I have no objection. Because he is a family man, he should have some special consideration. A brahmachari can tolerate any inconvenience, but women and children cannot. My open advice is that if anyone can remain a brahmachari, it is very nice. But there is no need of artificial brahmacharis. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that one who exhibits himself outwardly as self restraint, but inwardly he thinks of sense gratification, he is condemned as mithyachara, which means false pretender. We do not want any false pretenders in numbers, but we want a sincere soul. There is no harm in accepting a wife and living without any disturbance of the mind and thus sincerely advancing in Krishna consciousness. So far as controlling karma or lust, the best thing is don't eat any highly spiced foodstuffs and always think of Krishna. Chant regularly and get yourself married as soon as possible and live a peaceful householder's life in Krishna consciousness. Rejection of illicit sex life is our first motto. Brahmachari life or celibacy is better because if the semen is saved, it fertilizes the brain for sharpening the memory. And if there is good memory, our Krishna consciousness becomes perfect. Hearing, chanting, remembering, that is the process. Our thoughts are always changing. That is the nature of the mind. So you cannot expect that even the great saintly persons are free from thoughts coming and going. But after thinking, there is feeling and willing. Willing being the stage of putting thoughts into action. So if we are able to employ our intelligence, then we kill the thoughts before they become manifest in activity. But because we are so much inclined to enjoy something intelligently, we have to therefore daily sharpen our intelligence faculty by reading and discussing and preaching to others. In this way, we are able very easily to defeat all challengers to our philosophy, and everything becomes very clear as it is revealed from different angles of vision. This brahmachari system is there, but if one is not so strong, then he is allowed to marry. But he must expect that the after effects will always be troublesome. Everywhere I see people, man and wife, with family, and all of them suffer, but still they go on producing more. Sex means trouble. Therefore, one should become dhira and not be attracted by this sex life. Henceforward, anyone proposing to marry must produce some outside income and live outside the temple. They must know this in advance and be prepared to carry such burden. Let them be married, but at their own risk. I cannot sanction anymore. My Guru Maharaj never allowed. But when I came to a country, it was a special circumstance, so I gave concession. But I am not so much inclined anymore, so I shall not sanction. But they may marry on their own risk of knowing that such arrangements are always troublesome. Regarding your question about thinking about sex, is that also one form of illicit sex or against our four principles? Yes. Even thinking sex is the same as illicit sex, but one who is not advanced cannot avoid it. But that does not disturb our regular procedure. We should strongly follow the regulations and principles and chant, and these thoughts will come and go away. Thinking will come. Even saintly persons like Lord Shiva are not free of thoughts that come. So, what to speak of you? So, we must say that such thinking is no offense because you are accustomed to this habit. But beyond thinking are feeling and willing. So, even thoughts of sex connection may come. That is difficult even for saintly persons to avoid. Still, in the further stages of feeling and willing, we can easily conquer over the sex urge. Willing should be avoided and acting stopped, or else there is the offense of breaking this basic prohibition of illicit sex life. Because thinking comes, I shall give it practical shape. That is nonsense. But because it is an old habit, we are unable to check it unless we can understand the nature of feeling, willing, and then action, and how by proper use of intelligence we can prevent thoughts which must come from maturing into actions. That is the practical application of Krishna conscious regulative principles. Even Lord Chaitanya himself said that sometimes when I see a wooden form of a woman, my mind becomes agitated. But that does not mean that we should give it practical shape. That is intelligence. One must be convinced that sex life without exception means trouble. Therefore, he is able to stop it at the thinking stage by not allowing it to be felt, much less willed and acted. I am so much disgusted by this troublesome business of marriage because nearly every day I receive some complaint from husband and wife, and practically this is not my business as sannyasi to be a marriage counselor. So henceforward, I am not sanctioning any more marriages, and those who want to marry must know in advance and be prepared to make outside income to support wife and home separately from the temple. And in the temple, husband and wife shall live separately. That must be, or what is the meaning of spiritual society like ours? I made a concession, but how can I encourage something which has proven to be so much trouble?
Okay, bro. I will request some other devotees to read.
Okay, bro.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Hey, here is there. Okay, Vivek, you can read.
Your question is how much or how little brahmacharis should associate with the unmarried brahmacharis in the temple. As a brahmachari, you should not mix at all with brahmacharinis. Actually, they should not at all see the face, but that is not possible in your country. But as far as possible, remain separate and talk almost nil. A brahmachari is advised not to go near a young woman anywhere. A brahmachari should always address every woman as mother. In your country, it is a little difficult, but the principle is to avoid. To talk secretly or privately is strictly prohibited. If you want to discuss philosophy and other matters, you can discuss publicly in a meeting but not privately. A brahmachari and unmarried woman in the same room together alone is strictly forbidden. Outside of loving God, there is no possibility of loving.
Wow.
Rather, there is lusty desire only. Within this atmosphere of matter, the entire range of human activities, not only every activity of human beings, but all living entities, is based upon given impetus and thus polluted by sex desire, the attraction between male and female. For that sex life, The whole universe is spinning around and suffering. That is the harsh truth. So called love here means that you gratify my senses, I'll gratify your senses. And as soon as that gratification stops, immediately there is divorce, separation, quarrel, and hatred. So many things are going on under this false conception of love. Actual love means love of God, Krishna. Letter to Lenil Ludwig 271173, published in the Science of Self-Realization. You leaders see that the Krishna conscious standards in regard to initiation, cleanliness, dress, and activities of the devotees, the restriction of association between men and women, all be strictly followed. Devotional service cannot be done whimsically. Human life is meant for tapasya, and tapasya must begin with brahmachari life at Gurukula. The boy is supposed to sleep on the floor. During the day, he should collect alms for the spiritual master. He does not try very hard to make a comfortable material arrangement. The result of our Gurukula training is that although everyone in this age is born as Shudra, we are producing first class Brahmanas who can actually do good for their fellow man. Krishna is always strong. If you are fully engaged in Krishna's service, attraction of women will be a myth only. It is only Krishna's grace. Of course, we are old men now, but even old men are attracted still by women. So even old men or young men, if one's mind is fixed up in Krishna's lotus feet, there will be no such mundane attraction. If you can remain a brahmachari, that is the best way of life. The more you become Krishna consciousness, the more you will forget sex life. Sex life is the original root cause of material bondage. When one takes to Krishna consciousness, gradually sex becomes at last abominable. Then he is fit to enter back home, back to Godhead. If there is agitation in the mind, then there is no fault. Actually, this is only natural in the material world unless the mind is fully purified in Krishna consciousness. But by engaging in devotional service, gradually the mind will become purified and the agitation will vanish. So if there is simply agitation in the mind, there is no fault. But if there is indulgence in sex, then there will be big fault. If one engages in illicit sex life, he has broken the promise to spiritual master, and that is great offense. A brahmachari's business is to study and then go to make some collection on behalf of the guru. Woman is good and man is good, but if you combine them, both become bad unless there is regulation. In India, private talks with women are immediately condemned. In Delhi, there is a certain kind of laddu which has such a taste that anyone who has tasted it once, he laments, "Oh, how I would like to taste again." And anyone who has never tasted and one who has tasted both are lamenting. Life is like that. Sex life is nasty, but out of illusion, we think it is nice. There are two things, Krishna and sex life. So, if you want to have Krishna, one must be above illicit sex life. That requires some strength. So, you have to impress upon them that following these rules and regulations, especially by chanting Hare Krishna, one will become strong. Unfortunately, we have no taste for this chanting. This is our misfortune. Marriage is not recommended. Are you prepared to get a job, live outside the temple in an apartment, provide the wife with bangles, saris, and sex? Better you concentrate on this chanting and hearing process. Teach others and give them prasada. Regarding your getting married, I have no objection. However, as a brahmachari, you are not obliged to marry. What is the advantage to your getting married? That should be considered. If one can remain brahmachari, that is best. Finish this life and go back to Godhead. That is the basic idea of Krishna consciousness movement. So you decide. The brahmachari lives at the place of and works for the benefit of spiritual master by begging for his maintenance, by cleaning, by learning and principles of Krishna consciousness, and by engaging in the process of Bhagavata Dharma. Thus, due to strong training in the beginning, his life has a firm, sane foundation with which he can overcome the forces of Maya. The only way that we can overcome Maya is to sincerely and seriously take shelter of Krishna. So chant very sincerely and follow the four required principles strictly, and very soon you will be able to find shelter from the miseries of material attachment. By controlling sex desire, one becomes the most perfect sober person. If you feel Maya attractive, then live an honest life as a householder and contribute to our movement. My request is that you don't become an ordinary foolish man. Keep Krishna consciousness in any condition of life. That is success. If one is fully engaged in preaching, his mind will be subdued. That is the only way. Sex indulgence is not good. It is grossly material and we have to surpass it. But when one has staunch faith in Krishna, he will be able to transcend the urge. Now you will be able to chastise your sex dictations. You are determined, so Krishna will help you. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's lectures. Atyahara means to eat more than what you need or to accumulate more than what you need. Ahara means eating and ahara means accumulation. So, of course, any householder requires some deposit in the bank for emergency. That is, of course, allowed for householders. But just for us, we are sannyasi. We are renounced order of. We haven't got to accumulate any money, you see. That is the system of Indian philosophy. But those who are householder, family men, they may have some deposit for emergency. Otherwise, those who are renounced order, those who are brahmachari, for them to keep money separately for his maintenance or for accumulating bank balance is not allowed. If my mind is concentrated on the beauty of Krishna, I can see these beautiful girls as Krishna's gopis. Simply by desiring to go back to home, back to Godhead, one is supposed to follow the vow of brahmachari. Brahmachari to live the life of celibacy, this is called brahmachari. So it has got so nice effect that if anyone from the birth to death simply observe this life of celibacy, he is sure to go back to home. Simply by observing one rule, yat ichanto brahmacharyam charanti. It is so nice, brahmacharya. And brahmachari vrate and brahmachari vrate stita, brahmachari vrata means celibacy, no sex life at all, completely prohibited. Brahmachari vrate. Vrata means with a vow that I'll have no sex life, with a vow. Such person can execute yoga system. One who has his relationship with wife under rules and regulation and does not know any other woman, he is also brahmachari. That is also called brahmachari vrata. And one who lives complete celibacy life, that he is also brahmachari. So that brahmachari vrata is essential for yogi. When a man or woman comes to 16 years, that is the beginning of youthful life. So 16 to 20 years, this is very nice, in full energy. And that is the time for growth, intelligence. Unfortunately, we spoil this period. So we become less intelligent. Life becomes shorter. If we spoil this period, then our life will be shortened. And if we keep this period complete celibacy, brahmachari, then you can live up to 100 years. Those who are too much lusty, lover of the vagina, they may worship Indra. If you want vagina instead of Krishna, all right, do it. You have it. So unfortunately, if our student falls a victim of vagina instead of Krishna, that is very regrettable. Then better he worship Indra instead of Krishna.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, Shubhankar ji, you can read.
There may be thousands of beautiful women before a devotee, but that does not disturb his mind. He sees they are all energies of Krishna. They are gopis of Krishna. They are enjoyable by Krishna. I have to serve them. They are gopis. because I am servant of the servant. Gopi bhartu padakamalayo dasa. So a devotee should try to engage all beautiful women in the service of Krishna. That is his duty, not to enjoy them. That is sense gratification. This is the position of a devotee. He is not pierced by the arrows of Cupid, but he sees everything in relationship with Krishna. 11th November 1972. So this materialistic life means sex life. Very, very abominable. Tucham. If anyone has understood this, then he is liberated. But if, when one is still attracted, then it is to be understood that there is still delay in liberation. And one who has understood and has left it, even in this body, he is liberated. He is called Jivan Muktaha Sa Uchyate. Iha yasya harir dasya karmana manasa gira nikhila swapi avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. So how we can become free from this desire? Iha yasya harir dasya. If you simply desire to serve Krishna, then you can get out. Otherwise, not. That is not possible. If you desire anything else except the service of the Lord, then Maya will give you inducement. Why not enjoy this? A brahmachari, from the very beginning of his life, he is trained to act only for Guru. That is brahmachari. It is enjoined that a brahmachari live at the shelter, at the care of Guru, just like a menial servant. Krishna also, although he is the supreme personality of Godhead, when he was living as brahmachari at his guru's house, Sandipani Muni, he was collecting wood fuel from the jungle. He was going daily. It is not that because he was personality of Godhead, therefore he should not go. A brahmachari is trained up from the very beginning how to become a sannyasi at the end of life. How he is trained up? He is trained up to collect for Guru alms. He is trained up in that way that although he has collected everything, but he does not claim anything. He does not keep anything with him, even though he has to eat in the ashrama, but that he will eat upon the calling by the Guru. My dear such and such, please come and take your prasada. It is said, if the Guru forgets to call him one day, he will not take his food. This is called brahmachari, means strictly following. And they used to call every woman from the beginning of life mother. This is training. Matribat paradareshu. From the very beginning of life, all women they are treated as mother. This is brahmachari life, voluntarily accepting hardship for making life successful. Sometimes we enjoy subtle pleasure, thinking of sex life. That is called Nari Sangame. Nari means woman, and Sangha means union. So those who are practiced, so when there is actually no union, they think of union. So Yamunacharya said that not actually union with woman, but if I think of union, tadavadhi batanari sangame smaryamane, simply by thinking. Bhavati mukha vikaraha. Oh, immediately I become disgusted. Ah, what is this nasty thing? Sushtu nishti, spits. This is perfect. Chuckles. This is perfection. Yes. So long we'll think of. That is called subtle sex. Thinking. They read the sex literature. This is subtle sex, gross sex and subtle sex. So one has to become completely free from these lusty desires, not to become implicated, which will never be satisfied, unsatiated. Dushpuram. The material world means there is a heart disease, which is called kama. Ritroga kama. If I see one engaged in lusty or sex affairs, naturally my sex desire also becomes awakened, even though I am trying to control it. In the neophyte stage, still if I see in front of me some lusty affairs, naturally I will be inclined. Ajamila was a brahmachari practicing sama, dhamma, but he could not control. All of a sudden he became very much attracted. This is the social condition. If in society we have no restriction, then naturally those young boys and girls will be inclined. And as soon as one is sexually inclined, he forgets all other culture and gradually becomes downfallen. as we'll see from the life of Ajamila, although he was trained up. Similarly, this is a warning towards students that they are learning how to become Krishna conscious. It is a very difficult job to become Krishna conscious. It is not an easy thing. But by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are trying to teach and it is becoming effective. Otherwise, how you all Europeans and Americans can give up these four sinful activities? So try to preserve. It can be preserved only by remaining in devotional service. The Shuddha Sattva, Vasudeva platform. These rules and regulations, restrictions means to keep on the Vasudeva platform, rising early in the morning, offering Mangala Arati, then gradually one after another, attending class, Guru Puja, and so on. Up till you go to bed, you should always be engaged. Then you will be above these three gunas. And if we keep on the Vasudeva platform, these things will not entice us. Otherwise, we shall be enticed and fall down. Sometimes we go to hear or see Rasa Leela, but unless we are advanced in spiritual consciousness, this hearing or seeing of Rasa Leela brings us down. If one is actually seeing Rasa Leela heard from a realized person, one who is actually advanced in spiritual consciousness, the result will be that our natural lusty desires will disappear. But instead of disappearing our lusty desires, if we increase our lusty desires, that means we are spoiling our life. Therefore, it is forbidden for neophyte students to indulge in these affairs of Ras Leela. You should be very careful. People are very much accustomed to see Ras Leela in Vrindavana. Maybe they are advanced, but the test is that he has given up his lusty desires. If he has given them up after seeing Rasalila, he should not have returned home. My Guru Maharaj used to say, "Do not go to Vrindavana with a return ticket. It is very confidential. Brahmachari, there are so many restrictions. There are 8 kinds of subtle sects. But in the Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to follow the rules and regulations. One is not trained up. Even up to ripe old age, one becomes attracted by beautiful women, especially in the Western countries. When you are no longer attracted by this sex desire, then you should understand that I am now making progress in Krishna consciousness. That is the test. We should be very careful, but simply becoming careful is not enough. We must advance in Krishna consciousness. That is very easily done by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. If you keep yourself always engaged in Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, simply by chanting it, if you follow the rules and regulations, then you will be not victimized. You will not be victimized. You will progress without any fear. Ajamila saw in front of him a young man and a woman embracing and kissing. In such a situation, it is very difficult to restrain. Unless one is very advanced, it is not possible. Unless one is very strong in Krishna consciousness, it is very difficult to restrain the mind and senses. Cupid is always disturbing. This whole material world means Madana, Cupid. People work very hard in the cities like hawks and dogs. They say we are hungry, we must work very hard, but that is not the fact. The real fact is that we want to enjoy sex. As far as hunger is concerned, you can control, but sex desire it is very difficult to control. Yan Maithunadi, sexual intercourse is the beginning of material life. You know how strong sexual desires are in the Western countries. Even an old man going to die, he has also. Although he cannot enjoy sex, still he is trying his best by medicine, by intoxication, by stimulants. That is the only happiness of this material world. Human civilization means to create a population of dhira, not to be disturbed by the sex impulse. Not that so many so-called sadhus now preaching openly yoga by sex. This mental agitation will go on as long as we are not attracted by Madana Mohana. So long as we are not attracted by Madana Mohana, we must be attracted by Madana. Unless you can control your mind not to be disturbed by Madana, there is no question of liberation or devotional service. Just like a thief is going to steal, He also tries to control it. I am going to steal. The after effect will be that I will be arrested and I will have to go to jail. And it is forbidden by Shastra and state laws also. I'm going to steal, but there is risk. The consciousness beats him, but he cannot control. This is the position. He knows everything, but still he steals. The same thing happened here. Ajamila was a learned Brahmana. He knew that I am being agitated by the sex desire. It is not good. He had sufficient education in Vedic knowledge. He tried to control the mind as far as the intelligence concerned, but he could not control. Why? The mind was too much agitated by lusty desires. This is the point. Lusty desires are very strong. Therefore, Shastra says, don't be alone even with your mother, daughter, or sister. Even a vidvan like Ajamila can be disturbed. Don't talk in a solitary place with a yeoman, even if she happens to be your mother, daughter, or sister. The mind is so susceptible, but the mind can be controlled only by Krishna consciousness. Ambarisha Maharaj showed us the example. Simply engage your mind in thinking of Krishna and talk of Krishna. Then this agitation will not disturb you.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll request-
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Kshitish Sharma. If you have a mic, if you happen to have a mic, then you can continue to read. Kshitish.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
So Prabhuji, I need to read it from.
You can continue to read from material life means sex. From there.
Okay. Material life means sex. Yan mathonadi grahamedi sukham hi tucham. In material world, not only in the human society, but also in the birds, beasts, animals, and insects, everywhere, the sex impulse is very strong. And if you indulge in sex life, then you will be implicated more and more in this material body. This is the law of nature. Therefore, the whole Vedic civilization is meant for curtailing sex life. First of all, brahmachari, no sex life. First training is brahmachari, how to train him to remain without sex. That is brahmachari. Tapsa brahmacharyena, tapasya means to remain brahmachari. That is tapasya. Very, very difficult. Therefore, it is called tapasya. Because the whole world is attracted by sex life, pumsa striya mithuni bhavam. The whole world, not only in this planet, but in every planet, even in the demigods planet. So this Krishna consciousness movement means not bodily conscious. The material world means bodily conscious. How to keep the body comfortable. But that is not possible. Body means misery. You cannot keep it with comfort. That is Maya. It will never be comfortable, but they are all trying to make it comfortable. This is called Maya. Klish,
Klesh,
kleshada asa deha.
Kleshada Asha Deha.
Kleshada asha deha. So long you have a material body, you will have to suffer. So this Krishna consciousness movement is not on the bodily platform. It is on spiritual platform. To come to the spiritual platform, it is necessary that you reduce or make nil sex life. So if one remains brahmachari throughout the whole life, it becomes very easy for him to go back to Godhead. This is a secret. Therefore, the whole Vedic civilization is based on, first of all, brahmachari, no sex life. Then grihastha, that is also very regulated. Only for begetting a child can one have sex life. Father, mother, men and women. Dharma viruddha kamo smi. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, sex life which is prescribed by the religious system is me. Otherwise, it is illicit sex. So for illicit sex, there is punishment. So tapasya means tapasa brahmacharyena samena cha damena cha. We have to control. The more one controls, he becomes advanced in spiritual culture. The yoga system means yoga indriya samyama. Yoga means how to control the senses. Therefore, Krishna says, "Mai akshata manah partha." So,
मय्यासक्त मना पार्थ.
okay, Maya sakta manah partha. So, sex indulgence is against spiritual advancement of life. Therefore, we have seen that for the brahmachari, it is very easy to enter into spiritual kingdom, so that you can do here also. If you increase your attraction for Krishna, then naturally you'll lose the attraction for sex. That is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna's name is Madan Mohan. Madan means sex life. You can enchant him, Madan. So these are the things which the devotee will learn by studying the literature. But even without studying, if you sincerely chant the Hare Krishna mantra under regulation, everything, all good qualifications will come. It's a very instructive story and it is a historical fact. The Muslim Emperor Akbar once inquired from his ministers, "How long does one remain in lusty desires?" The minister replied, "Up to the last point of that." Akbar didn't believe it and said, "No, no, how can you say that?" "All right," said the minister, "I shall reply in time." So one day, all of a sudden, the minister approached the emperor and said, "You be immediately ready to come with me with your young daughter." Akbar knew that his minister was very intelligent and there must be some purpose. He went with him and minister took him to a person who was going to die. The minister then asked Akbar, "Kindly study the man who is about to die on his face." So Akbar noticed that as he and his young daughter were entering, the dying man was looking to the face of the young girl. In this way, Akbar understood, yes, what he said is true. Up to the last point of death, the desire is there to see the face of a young girl. This is called dus,
दुष्पुरेण.
dushpurena. It is never fulfilled. This attraction of men and women and family life continues. Brahmacharya means restraining sex life, celibacy. When one is serious about advancement of spiritual consciousness, he must live under the control of the Guru to learn how to become brahmachari. A devotee doesn't need to practice brahmacharya separately. He is not attracted to sex because he has a higher taste. In our society, compulsorily we have to mix with women, not only women, very beautiful young girls. But if one is not agitated even in this association of beautiful women and girls, then he is to be considered a Paramhansa, very advanced. So we cannot avoid in Krishna consciousness movement. That was the problem from the beginning. In India, there is restriction between men and women freely intermingling, but in your country, there is no such restriction. Therefore, I got my disciples married. They criticized me that I have become a marriage maker. Anyway, I wanted at least to regulate. That is required. Dharam viruddho bhuteshu kamo smi.
धर्मा विरुद्धो भूतेषु
Dharma viruddho bhuteshu
कामोऽस्मि.
kamo asmi. Krishna also says a married man can also be a brahmachari. If a married man sticks to one wife and if before sex he takes permission from his spiritual master, then he is a brahmachari, not whimsically. When the spiritual master orders him that now you can beget a child, then he is a brahmachari. Srila Virar
वीर राघवाचार्य.
Srila Veer Raghavacharya has described in his commentary that there are two kinds of brahmachari. One kind is Nashtika brahmachari. He doesn't marry, and another kind, although he marries, he is fully under the control of the spiritual master, even for sex. He is also a brahmachari. Why so much restriction on sex life? People do not understand throughout the whole world. They are captivated by sex life, especially in the Western countries. Material existence means the desire for sex life, both men and women. We are already bewildered, attached to the material world, but when we are united, men and women together, our attachment for this material world increases. The human form of life is meant for tapasya, to learn how to become detached from this material world. And the beginning is brahmachari life. Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Dantaha. Dantaha means self-controlled. That is real teaching. According to Vedic civilization, there is no sex life except for begetting a nice child. And that also with Garbhadan Sanskar. In other words, a whimsical sex life is completely stopped in Vedic civilization. There, everything is under regulation. Therefore, brahmachari means how to control the senses, to keep under his control, not that I am now sexually inclined. I must immediately have sex. We should always remember that this human life is meant for controlling the senses. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. It is simply meant for inquiring about spiritual life, that is perfect civilization. Therefore, brahmachari means living under the direction of Guru. Gurur Hitam means how he can simply be thinking of benefiting the spiritual master. Unless that position comes, nobody can serve Guru. It is an artificial thing. The brahmachari disciple must have genuine love for Guru. Then he can be under his control. Otherwise, why should one be under the control of another person? Therefore, it is said, Acharan Dasavat. Das means menial servant. A disciple is expected to live in Gurukul. Gurukul means at the shelter of Guru.
नीचवत नीच
Nichavat,
हम्म,
Nichavat, as a menial servant. This can be possible when one is very thickly related with Guru. Otherwise, an ordinary relationship will not do. A machine works systematically. Everyone has seen that the machine of the watch is working very systematically, correctly. Similarly, every student, every disciple must work very correctly like machine. There is no question why you did not attend the school or the class. You cannot say that you did this and this. No. As a machine works, so everyone should attend the class, rise early in the morning, attend Mangala. No discrepancy that is wanted. Then, in the beginning, the student should come and offer the obeisances to the lotus feet of the Guru. That is the beginning. Ado Shad Ado Guru
आश्रयम
Ashrayam. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasada. This is the principle. If you offer your respectful obeisances to the Guru, he becomes pleased. Anyone, even if one is an offender, if he comes and offers obeisances to the superior Guru, then even if there was an offense, he forgets. That should be done regularly, just like a machine. As soon as one sees Guru, immediately he must offer obeisances, beginning and end. When he comes to see Guru, he must offer obeisances, and when he leaves that place, he must offer obeisances. In between coming and going, he should learn from the Guru Vedic understanding. This is the principle of living in Gurukul.
ओके प्रभु आई विल रिक्वेस्ट another devotee to read. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another 5-6 minutes we will read because I started late. Okay, Shivakumar, can read.
Hare Krishna.
हाँ हरे कृष्ण.
Our students are very obedient. If they see the Guru 100 times, he practices this process of offering obeisances while meeting and while going away. These things are to be practiced. Then Danta Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Danto. Then he'll be self controlled. Obedience is the first way of discipline. If there is no obedience, there cannot be any discipline, and if there is no discipline, you cannot manage anything. That is not possible. Therefore, this is very essential that the students should be very disciplined. Disciple means one who follows discipline. The Sanskrit word shishya comes from the verb shasana, ruling. So, Shishya means one who voluntarily accepts the ruling of the spiritual master. The recommendation is there Tapasa Brahmacharyena, celibacy, no sex life. That is the beginning of tapasya. Meditation means tapasya. Tapasa Brahmacharyena, Shamena, Shama, to control the senses, to, to keep so the senses may not be agitated. Damena. Even if it is agitated by my knowledge, I have to cut down. Just like if I become agitated by seeing a beautiful woman, a beautiful, a, a beautiful boy, that is natural. Young boy, young girl, they are naturally attracted. There is nothing surprising. But tapasya means I have taken a vow, no illicit sex. That is knowledge. Even if I am attracted, I shall not do. This is tapasya. Because I am attracted, now we shall enjoy. That is not tapasya. Tapasya means even if one is attracted, he should not act. That is tapasya. There may be some difficulty to control, but that should be practiced. It can be practiced. It is not very difficult, but one has to practice with determination. Now I have taken a vow before the deity, because at the time of initiation it is promised before the deity, before the fire, before the spiritual master, and before the Vaishnavas that I will not have illicit sex. That is promised. How can I break it? I have taken a vow before the deity, before the fire, before my spiritual master, before the Vaishnavas. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no drinking or intoxication, no gambling. I have promised it. If I am a gentleman, how can I break my promise? This is called jnana. With knowledge, one has to practice. That is called tapasya. Otherwise, to become attracted is not unnatural. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a sannyasi. He used to say that even if I see a doll made of wood like a beautiful woman, my mind becomes agitated. So, what to speak of us? This is the example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving an example. To be agitated in the mind, that is not unnatural. But if you practice, you will not be agitated anymore. If you practice by your knowledge, that is called dhira. Dhiras tatrana mukhyati. We have to become dhira. Dhira and adhira. There are two classes of men. One is sober. Even if there is cause of agitation, still he remains firm. He is called dhira. And adhira means as soon as there is a cause of agitation, he becomes a victim. That is called adhira. So we have to become dhira. We have been adhira in so many different forms of life because I am coming to this human form of life after evolution of 84 lakh forms of body. Why not practice a little tapasya in this life? If by practicing tapasya, restraint, I can get relief from this repetition of birth and death, why should I not do it? This is knowledge. And if I again become victimized, the law of nature is there. If you want, you can enjoy. Nature will give you. All right. You want so much sex. All right, come on. Become a hog. Yes. Nature is ready. It is not very difficult. Therefore, Shastra says No, this life is not meant for becoming a hog or a dog. Nayam deho deha bhajam triloke kashtan kaman arhate with bhujam ye. The whole world is working so hard. They are going to the office to earn a livelihood, but what is the pleasure? The pleasure is sex, that's all. Their ultimate goal is sex, that's all. Yan maitunadi grihamedi sukham hi tucham. So one should consider the sex indulgence is given to the hogs and dogs, and for the same enjoyment, I love to work so hard. This is knowledge. I have got this human form of life for understanding Krishna, for understanding God, my position, what I am. Our main problem is sex life because sex life is the basic principle of material life. Either you are a human being, or you are a demigod, or you are a bird, or you are a beast, or you are a fly, or you are a fish, or you are a tree, plants, everything. The basic principle of material life is sex. Pumsa striya mituni bhavam etat tayor mito hridaya granthim ahuhu. Everything is there. You have got books. Study and follow the practice. Be a little sober, then you will be able. It's not that you will not be able. You will be able. And Krishna will help. As soon as we are very eager, then Krishna will help. Therefore, the deity worship is there. Along with the deity worship, we should always pray, Krishna, kindly save me from the pitfalls of Maya. He will do it. But if you want to cheat Krishna and cheat the Guru, then you will be cheated. That's all. The Guru is neither cheated nor Krishna will be cheated. You will be cheated. That's all. If you want to be cheated, then do whatever you like and prolong this term of repetition of birth and death. And if you want to stop, then here tapasa brahmacharyena samena cha damena cha tyagena. Tyagena. This is also one of tapasya. Don't keep with you anything. Then you will make plans. Let me have illicit sex. Let me have intoxication. As soon as you have got money. Best thing is, as soon as you get money, immediately spend it.
Uh-oh. Hare
Tyage.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
It got lost, so you can read from first. As soon as.
Okay. As soon as you have got money. Best thing is, as soon as you get money, immediately spend it for Krishna. Tyagena. Charity. Tyagena means charity. Not that you starve. You keep yourself fit to execute Krishna consciousness, but don't keep much money. Immediately give in charity to Krishna. A brahmachari is trained to refrain from sex life. That is brahmachari, celibacy. But if he is still not able, then he is allowed to accept grihastha life. There is no cheating, hypocrisy that I proclaim myself as brahmachari or sannyasi and I secretly do all nonsense. This is hypocrisy. The hypocrisy life will not make one advanced in spiritual life. That is the example given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. We'll stop here. We'll
Okay,
read these
Prabhu.
quotes from tomorrow onwards.
Hare
Few
Krishna,
pages.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So thank you, devotees, for participating. For to everybody. So after this, which book to read? So maybe you can give us an option. So many things, books, Patropadesh, Volume 1, 2, Lekhamala, Viveka Shatakam, Chaitanya Chanakya Niti. So which book would you like to read? Of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav is there, Speaking Strongly. Speaking Strongly already we have done recently. Glimpses we have done. Message to Youth of India is yet pending. That I have kept it for August month. So if devotees have anything to read, Chanakyaniti people want to read. That is not Maharaj book, but yeah, I will consult and I will let you know if we can read from Chanakyaniti. Yeah, Patropadesh or Lekhamala, that will be good. That's what I was thinking. Patropadesh volume 1 and volume 2, because many devotees have so many problems with Krishna consciousness, even myself also. I wanted to read. I have read something. So Patropadesh volume 1 and 2 has a lot of insights into personal instructions for Krishna consciousness. So everybody wants personal instructions. So this book, yeah. Okay, Kshitish want to speak something. Yeah, personal instructions are there in Patropadesh. Yeah, and Lekhamala continues to uh, from Patropadesh. So both books are good. Patropadesh volume 1 and volume 2 and Lekhamala. Yeah, Kshitish, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, on page number 214, when it is written, my Guru Maharaj used to say, do not go to Vrindavan with a return ticket. So is it Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is telling or Prabhupada is telling?
This is not Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is telling. These are Prabhupada's quotes.
Okay.
When he says my Guru Maharaj, that means he is addressing Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Okay, Prabhuji.
200 and
14.
yeah 200. I have you read na? Yeah, 214. It is written here that where is it?
In second last paragraph.
Yes, my Guru Maharaj used to say, do not go to Vrindavan with a return ticket. That means going to Vrindavan means staying there and serving Krishna all the 24 hours. That's all. There's no return ticket like that. So it is told by Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur two means to your disciples. Prabhupada is quoting his gurus. That means Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's quotation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, second question is, Prabhuji, one quote is there that one should ask his guru in married life and for permission for sex. So Prabhuji, now
Where is it? Where is it? Where is that quote?
Prabhuji, I need to find.
Oh, it is you written. We have read here.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have read.
One second. What is the sentence? What?
Prabhuji, it's on 218 page, fourth paragraph. Krishna also says a married man can also be a brahmachari.
218.
Yes.
Okay. Krishna also says a married man can also be a brahmachari. Yeah.
Yes.
If a married man sticks to one wife and if before sex he takes permission from his spiritual master, then he is a brahmachari. Not whimsically. When the spiritual master does him, then now you can beget the child and then he is brahmachari. Yes. What is your doubt?
So Prabhuji, is it not bother Guru Maharaj that because he has so many disciples, so if all of them ask.
No, it is not like that. It's in this way that whatever activity he does, he takes permission from the guru. It is to establish that principle actually. And one more thing is that in Vedic culture there used to be a Garbhadhan samskar, which guru doesn't perform it, but the point is that guru knows that now my disciple is going to beget a Krishna conscious children. So it's not a botheration; it's a service for the guru. Yeah, it's a burden of love, as Maharaj writes in Patropadesh.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it is not a burden. It is a burden. It is a burden of love in the sense that Guru has taken the responsibility for the disciples. So whatever activities disciples do, the Guru. It is not that he interferes because the disciple himself he wants to take advice from the spiritual master because he wants Guru's involvement in everything. of course, we should not bother. That's why Guru, what they do, they give, they what they do is they give what I can say, to the senior grahasthas, all these things, who under the tutelage of Guru, those senior grahasthas take care of the other grahasthas, and whatever the personal things are required, advice regarding all those things, they mostly they take care. And sometimes it so happens that if some guru is, if he is a grahastha, if gurus also sometimes they are grahasthas, then they take permission, that is also there. But in general also they take permission from guru. It's not a botheration, it's a service from the guru to the disciple, because the guru, the disciple takes permission from whatever, because there is nothing like personal life, there is nothing like spiritual life and material life. Everything is spiritual life in a person's life. When it accepts Krishna consciousness means everything is spiritual life. Even material life also affects spiritual life. If you are not able to keep up material life properly, then it affects my spiritual life also. That's why varnashram dharma is maintained like that, so that material life goes on very nicely, smoothly, so that your spiritual side will not be affected. It is like that. So many things can be said. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we will try to read maybe Patrapadesh volume 1, 2, Lekamala, or Chanakya Niti. We will decide. Okay, thank you very much for all the devotees' attention, and we will stop here. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhescha, Kripa Sindhibhi Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namah Dante Nidhaya Trinakampatiyo Nipatya, Kritva Cha Kakushitam Etad Aham Bravimihe Sadhava Sakalame Vihaya Dura Chaitanya Chandra Charane Kurtanuragat. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Somebody is Hare Krishna.